So to purchase tokens at our market, you can come to the market welcome tent. We can swipe credit, debit, and food stamp cards, and we'll issue you these wooden tokens that you can spend with any of the vendors at our market. Obviously for EBT, they can only be spent on EBT eligible products. But what we've found is that it removes the stigma, specifically about food stamps, to shopping with, if we were just to have EBT tokens. Everybody's on level playing ground, and commerce flows freely through the market. We think that through the market welcome tent, where there's just that one point for purchasing tokens, that it also allows time spent at individual vendor stalls to be about the food that they're purchasing, or how it's grown, or how people's families are, and have those real personal interactions. Give them the time to do that. It also, with us, machines go down, things happen, and that's something where those are our problems. Those are things that we can fix. We have a staff that's dedicated to running the market, and we believe and have seen that it's successful for us to take that on, rather than having that be yet another thing that vendors have to contend with.
We have a monthly billing system, so the way that this works is, at the end of each day, our market manager goes and collects the tokens from the farmers, records it. The farmer also then signs off, says this is how many tokens I turned in. That market manager then goes back to the office, enters that into a spreadsheet. That gets reconciled with the bank statement, and then at the end of each month, we credit the farmer's account. It used to be that we'd write a check every month. Now it just gets credited to their directly to their account. So their vendor fees get taken out of their EBT and debit credit sales. Any other costs that may be incurred get taken out. So sometimes farmers don't actually end up having to pay to be at market. It just comes directly out of their account. And we think this works so much more efficiently than having to write a check, cut a check each time. It's a much more seamless process. But it also is a cumbersome process. You just heard. Have to have a market manager operating the terminal. That market manager then at the end of the day has to collect all the tokens. Then they have to come back to the office and enter that information into some central database. Then they have to make sure that reconciles with the statement from the card processor, which often it doesn't. Then we reconcile it with our own bank statement, and then the farmer gets credited. That can be administratively cost prohibitive for a market that either doesn't have outside support, or is small and doesn't have the staff, or if you're doing volunteer staff. So there are other ways, how to incorporate the program into a market really depends on the model of the market and the capacity of the organization or the operator. When I first used a terminal in 2001, when I had a much smaller community-based farmers market program, we also had one terminal. And we just gave receipts and assigned a receipt number for each farmer, and then collected it at the end of the day, and that's how we knew what to pay them. This doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to get wooden tokens. You can use paper receipts. You can come up with whatever system fits your market. There's also depending on how large of a market is, how small of a market is, one farmer can have the terminal and handle and manage the program for the market. A volunteer can handle it. Interns can operate the model. And again, sometimes it's that back end overhead and accounting that makes it more expensive to operate, or at least takes a lot of time. Again, we think that the tokens are the way to go right now. This is like cash. It's a 2-second transaction. I take my food, here's my money. If it's debit credit, here's some change. If it's SNAP, thank you very much. It is just like shopping with cash. It's easy, and the farmers don't mind it at all.